Hey everyone, it's me, the most handsome PokeTuber, and here we are with another episode of Debate 'Em All. This is my series that we ripped off from Anthony Fantano and are doing weekly. Every Thursday is what we're aiming for. So yeah, hopefully you are enjoying it so far. If you are, drop a like and make sure you check out the last ones if you missed it. I think I'm almost out of stuff on Twitter that I really want to reply to, so if you want to go ahead and leave some YouTube comments, I'll start taking some comments from previous episodes of this series. Yeah, go ahead and comment some of your hot takes, reply to my hot takes, I might reply to you. This is just a discussion series. I've always wanted a series where I can just sit down and talk, and now I've got one, so I'm happy. But yeah, let's just jump into the first hot take. Sun and Moon was way better than playing through Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. The spacing between two Gen 7 titles was too small for me to be excited about playing the similar region / story. Yeah, I think also, okay, Sun and Moon had the better storyline in my opinion, because I mean the story is very similar, but obviously some things are different, like Lusamine is different in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. I didn't really like Lusamine in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. I didn't really like Guzma as much. Like, there's a lot that Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon kind of ruined just to force the Ultra Recon squad in, which ultimately they weren't even that cool. But yeah, Sun and Moon, I think for storyline wise, Sun and Moon's definitely better. But when it comes to shiny hunting and like a few other things here and there, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon are the enhanced versions and do have more going for them. Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon obviously have all the newer Pokemon, you know, Poipole and all this other stuff. So it's like 50-50. It's like, do you care about the storyline of the game, or do you want the most up-to-date version of a main series Pokemon game? And sadly, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon is that. Of course, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon has a lot of different side quests that Sun and Moon didn't have. Like, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon has a lot going for it that I don't personally think it should have, or I personally don't think it needed to be DLC, like a lot of people think. A lot of people think Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon should have been DLC. But yeah, again, there, like you said, there was too small of a spacing. Like, it was like a year difference. They've released Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. But honestly, I think it was either a year that they waited, or they just didn't release the game at all. Because if they just waited 2 years then released Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, I think people would have been pretty upset. I don't know. Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon weren't as bad as people are making out to be. The reason why people don't enjoy them is because they just played Sun and Moon a ton. But I mean, I guess Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon isn't awful for somebody that, you know, hasn't played Gen 7 yet. You know, like, which one should I pick up? Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon is the more enhanced version. I just think Sun and Moon has the better story. Gen 6 isn't terrible, it just wasn't complete. It was rushed. If Game Freak had spent a bit longer trying to make it enjoyable, it would have been so much better and well received. And god damn it, I want my AZ Floette. Yeah, I think that's pretty much most people. Like, I see a lot of people give it a lot of flack. The only thing that I say the only thing, one of the main things I didn't like about Gen 6 was the rivals. I thought they were all pretty forgettable, but looking past that, the game itself was really fun. I remember doing a live stream like halfway through last year of Pokemon Y, and I was like, damn man, I miss these games. These games are really good. You know, the rivals, bit lame, but that shouldn't ruin the whole game for me. You know, every game has its pros and cons. Yeah, it definitely felt rushed. I don't know what it is with Game Freak or Pokemon or whatever, where like they make something, they're gonna release it, but then they just don't. Like, the same thing happened with Arceus back in like Diamond and Pearl or whatever, how you could like cheat the Azure Flute into the game and get Arceus that way. Like, they were meant to distribute that, right? And you know, like, why did it just, I'm just confused as to why it never happened. You know, like, what happened with AZ's Floette? What's AZ's Floette all about? So many questions. They need to get better at deleting things that they don't plan on using. ORAS is a lot better than people give it credit for. Yeah, 100%. A lot of people, I know Glitch City especially is a huge, you know, she was wanting Hoenn Remix for so long, and then ORAS came and she still wasn't a big fan of it. I personally loved ORAS. I had such a good time with those games. Personally, I think I still enjoy the originals more, and I don't exactly know why, because, you know, you'd surely think, well, you know, just why would you play Omega Ruby Alpha? Why would you play Ruby Sapphire and Emerald when, you know, the enhanced version, the 3D, the more up to date, more Pokemon available, that, you know, they exist. I don't know. I guess it's nostalgia speaking there. But I mean, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire definitely weren't bad games by any stretch of the imagination. Like, I loved the redesigns that they did for, you know, Team Magma and Team Aqua, all the mega evolutions that game introduced, the storyline, the Delta, the Delta episode. That game had a lot going for it. Definitely don't think it's bad. Trade evolutions are the dumbest thing Pokemon has and they should be removed immediately. Okay, I agree that they're dumb, but I don't think they should be removed. I think they should be alternatives to trade, you know, because, okay, as a kid, I've spoken about this a few times on my channel. As a kid that didn't have any friends playing Pokemon growing up, I never got the chance to trade for Gengar, Machamp, and Golem, and all this other stuff. So, you know, having an alternative way to evolve those Pokemon, even if it was like much harder to do, that would have made me really happy as a kid, you know, because I always wanted to use Golem and Machamp and Gengar and all this other stuff. So I don't think they should be removed, because obviously the whole point of Pokemon is, you know, battle, trade, you know, it's collecting. It's based off of like bug collecting. I understand why trade evolutions are a thing. You know, trust me, I know, and I don't think they're. I think it's dumb that. I don't know. I think it's dumb that it is kind of an exclusive way to get some Pokemon, especially certain like super powerful Pokemon. Like Alakazam, he's insanely good, but you only get him from trade evolving. Same with Gengar and Machamp. Golem, I don't care. But yeah, I think there should be alternative ways to evolve Pokemon. I've actually made an entire video on it. Z moves didn't ruin competitive Pokemon. Leagues make it semi-easy to predict with Z captains, and in other formats you just have to have a decent understanding of the meta and team structures. It's not hard to figure it out. They also make beating stall just a tad easier. So I understand your argument. Like, I understand that side of it, but for me, the reason I don't like Z moves is because most of the time it basically just means one Pokemon is guaranteed to just get one shot and die. I mean, obviously, no, it's situation by situation basis, you know. Obviously, you know, VGC, like, you know, after the meta games, I guess, developed for a while, there'll be like a specific, you know, like, okay, I can expect Psychium Z from Tapu Lele. This guy's got Tapu Lele on his team. He's most likely got Psychium Z. It's just, I think, I don't know, it's just one of those, it's just an extra step that you have to prepare for, you know, had to prepare for Mega Evolutions, then you gotta prepare for Z moves, and some of the time you just can't prepare for the Z moves because people will bring something completely nonsense, like, you know, all of a sudden, Heatran can get OHKO'd by a Pokemon it shouldn't be able to get OHKO'd by because this Pokemon has Groundium Z. I don't think they're healthy. It's just like, it's kind of just like an ultimate attack that I don't think they really fit well for Pokemon battles personally, and I think they should be nerfed a little bit maybe. I don't know, maybe that's just me. I don't like Z moves, and I do think that they did ruin competitive Pokemon a little bit, at least for me. I don't know how a lot of other people feel about it, but that's why I've not been playing personally. The Johto region is one of the worst regions. Not a bad game, but the region itself is pretty boring outside of Goldenrod and Ekrutik. This. I don't hate the Johto games. I just hate that the Johto games rely on Kanto to be, you know, if you put out Heart Gold Soul Silver and you couldn't go back to Kanto, that game is F tier. That game is garbage. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing a 3D Johto, but for the most part the region is pretty plain. You have a beach. Ekrutik is gorgeous, don't get me wrong. What else do you have? Just grass, caves, grass, caves. Like, it's not as interesting as the other Pokemon regions, and it's pretty small. And yeah, I don't despise the Johto games. I don't even despise Johto. It's just my least favorite. And yeah, I think this guy just summed it up pretty well. Some Pokemon designs aren't lazy or uninspired or uninteresting. You've just set your expectations really high. Not every Pokemon has to be broken or badass. It's just art. Those people are hired for a reason, and they're doing a better job at designing Pokemon than most of us could. Yeah, I think this is pretty well said, and I feel like I agree with a lot of people in this series. I know it's meant to be debate them all. I don't know, I try to just, I guess, comment on what you've said, and whether I agree or disagree is up in the air. But yes, I think, okay, the way I see this is, without the lows, the highs mean nothing. So, without the Pokemon that aren't so good, aren't so complex designed, or, you know, aren't so cute in your opinion, whatever, you know, the ones that are you know, up there for you, they wouldn't really mean much. If every Pokemon was just up here, it would be boring. You know, you have to have, you know, there's no highs without lows. It's one of my favorite, like, I guess it's one of my favorite things to tell people. You know, it's like if somebody's going through a rough time, it's like, hey man, can't appreciate the good times without the bad times. It might be pretty cringe to say or whatever, but it's like, you know, you can't appreciate the good Pokemon without the bad Pokemon. If every Pokemon was good, they wouldn't be good. If that makes sense. I probably sound crazy. I honestly wouldn't be upset if the new fire starter is firefighting. Me neither, actually. I mean, it would be kind of taking the piss, because let's be real, Incineroar is an honorary firefighting type, and Delphox just felt like hey guys, let's do fires, psychic. It's not firefighting, it's mind, not brawn. It's a psychic dude, not a brawn dude. But yeah, I don't think I would be raging. I think it would inspire a lot of internet memes, and people would get over it. And then it just means, I guess, the next generation, Generation 9, oh my god, they would have to, I think by Generation 9 they would have to stop. But yeah, as it's looking Scorbunny, I think Scorbunny, I don't want them to change its type just for the sake of design or whatever. If it's gonna turn into this fighting type rabbit, then just let it happen. Just let it be a good design rather than being like, have it just randomly change. Because it's got that bandage on its nose, you know? Don't just force it to change just for the sake of keeping people happy, I guess. There's no point in enhanced versions when pretty much every other developer has embraced DLC and given games longer shelf lives. Example, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon's Rainbow Rocket and new Pokemon should have been added as a DLC scenario, with a free compatibility update for people who don't buy. Right, this is a tricky subject, because, okay, I do agree with you to an extent that we can just do DLC from now on, you know, that's the new way. But I guess Pokemon's always done enhanced versions, and I think it would, I don't know, it does seem very, like, I guess back then it made sense, but now it doesn't really make much sense, because like, just do DLC Pokemon. We'll pay $10 instead of buying a new $60 game. But as scummy as it sounds, Pokemon know people will buy the new $60 game that is essentially the same as the last game, but got, you know, a few tweaks here and there. I love collecting the Pokemon games, so of course I'm guilty. Personally, when it comes to enhanced versions, what bothers me now is that the fact they did Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. I don't think splitting it into 2 games was 100% necessary. Gotta make that cheddar. They know there's collectors out there. But yeah, Rainbow Rocket I could definitely see being DLC. Same with the new Pokemon, but I'm not sure. Like, the Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon storyline did change, and while earlier in this video I did say it wasn't better than the Sun and Moon story, you know, it's still, they kind of just reworked the whole story, and I don't know if it specifically would have worked for Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon DLC, but I really do hope that in future, rather than just giving us an enhanced version, that they do DLC. I think, especially on the Nintendo Switch, I think DLC would be the better way to go for things. I think a lot more people would respect the Pokemon Company, to be honest. And yeah, that is everything I have to say today. Let me know some of your hot takes in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate you. Hope you have a good day, and I'll catch you next week.